let's go to 50 Cent and Diddy. I don't know how close you're following this story. Curious to know what your thoughts are going to be on this. So let's kind of go through this. By the way, for those of you guys that are texting, 47 left out of 250, 47 left. Go to vtmerch.com. Get your new green hat, Memorial Day weekend. 47 left before they sell out. Okay, so pull up the Cameron. CNN. Cameron tells you how much I listen to Cameron. But pull up the Cameron video here. Vinny's telling me he was a respected
who is
rapper.
This
guy's a respected rapper in New York.
Dipset, Jay-Z. He's as hip hop New York rap as it gets.
Okay, I love
Rob,
He had a couple
when
big
he's
songs in the
opening up
90s.
when he's opening up the drink. Maybe I don't know if you know exactly where it's at or not.
Right here.
Go for it. Play the clip. Watch. It's very uncomfortable. She's asking him about what happened with Diddy and the apology video. Go for it.
Can you tell us a little bit more about that? I mean, is there something known in the industry about how Diddy treated his artists?
So I'm going to get some cheeks after this horsepower joint.
Some cheeks. You know what that means?
I'm just going to.
Do you think she knows what that means?
Yeah, she knows what it means.
Really
Look at her
Puff.
face. She's so
Like Mace,
disappointed.
no Puff. So I appreciate what Mace said, and of course, that's my brother. So if he felt that way, then he felt that way. I can't really tell you how Puff moves or anything like that. Mace may know better than me because he was signed to Puff. I wasn't.
Yep.
But my show does come on at 8 a.m. Eastern on YouTube. It's called It Is What It Is, and y'all make sure y'all check it out. I mean, I might get some more information out of Mace from there, but for me to tell you how Puff act and all that, I don't know. I never was signed to him.
Yeah. What about the industry in general? I mean, so many people have pointed out that Diddy couldn't get away with this stuff if there weren't a lot of people protecting him. Do you think that's the case?
Who the talent agent for this joint? Like, you think I'll be sitting around watching what Diddy do and all this? I didn't know this was a Diddy joint that y'all invited me to. Who booked me for this joint?
All right.
Wow, and I don't be sitting
Cameron,
around watching Diddy and all that. Yeah,
Thanks.
Man, come on, man. That's
Thanks
just
for
crazy.
joining us. Thank you for your time tonight.
Thank you for having me. You enjoy it.
That poor woman. She's like, oh, God.
Yeah.
I was going to get some cheeks out of this.
I'm gonna get some cheeks after this.
He sounds, okay.
So what do you think about the whole scandal? What do you think about the whole Ray, Diddy, everything that's apology, Cassie?
I think Diddy is a bad guy, and I think I'm sorry, but I've had my issues with the Me Too thing, but also when you have that many women with the same story, and you have a video of you beating a girl up like that, you're a scumbag, and then you have this apology, which is all about him. You notice his apology had nothing to do with her.
Yeah.
It had all to do with him. Me. I this, I that,
Yes.
I that. And I again, when you see people like this in Hollywood, when they do this stuff, there are many stories over many years of this guy being not such a good person.
Yep.
And I'm not just talking about, even if you didn't hear about the sexual stuff, it's more about him as a business guy, him taking credit for things. Hype Williams.
Yep.
Hype Williams, a friend of mine worked with Hype Williams and P. Diddy back in the 90s. And Hype was the guy who directed all those music videos. When those music videos showed up on MTV back in the day, P. Diddy was put on those videos as the director. My friend walked up to Hype at a party and said, Hype, I was there. P was walking around with a megaphone talking once in a while. You directed it. That was your vision. You did everything. And Hype's the artist. And Hype went, I can't even talk about it, man. I can't even. That's what he did. I can't even talk about it, and walked away. I heard that story, I don't know, 20 years ago, whatever it was. I've never forgotten it. And then I see this guy, releasing doves for Jennifer Lopez. It's all about him. It's always about him. He buys his 16-year-old Maybach. It's all about him. The guy has no values, really. It's all about him. Whether he's giving his kid a present, whether he's honoring his wife by releasing doves. I've never seen a bigger narcissist in my life. He's a pathological narcissist, not a good guy. Again,
You ever had interaction with him? You ever met him or no?
No, I've heard things and stuff, but I never went to
You
those
ever
parties.
heard things from people that are close to him that you
No.
don't want to give the names? Like,
Yes. Yes, the answer is yes. I know a lot of things, yeah.
but how crazy of a thing have you heard?
The reason I don't talk about that is I wasn't there. I don't know. But I saw that video. I saw that. That's all I need to see. Well, all I got to see is something like that, and I believe everything she's telling me. Everything.
I agree. And mind you, that's what we saw in a hallway video of a hotel, right? If he's doing that in the hotel in front of everybody, what is he doing outside of that? You feel me?
Sometimes people are so bad you can't. I ever tell you, my buddy's a billionaire, and he said to me, I'm naive. I always tend to give people the benefit of the doubt. And he said, Bryan, the problem with you is that you see the a-hole after 5 years. We see the a-hole in 5 minutes.
Wow.
And he goes, you got to stop. You got to start realizing there are people that are even though you can't imagine people being that big of a shithead, they're out there. And he's just a bad guy, I think. He's a bad guy.
I think with Diddy, you're absolutely right about the apology video. He's not sorry. He's sorry he got caught.
Yeah.
Period.
And that's what's going on there. And, you've been in LA how long now?
I've been there for 30 years almost.
Okay, so Diddy has 2 houses where? One in Miami.
Yeah.
One in LA.
Yeah.
So, and he's from New York. I don't know how much time he spends in New York.
Yeah.
You've been to the Playboy Mansion ever?
Yep.
So have I, a fear times, right? What's my point? I've been to a Diddy party also before. But there's a big difference between going outside on the lawn in the Playboy Mansion between versus getting in the house. You don't get in the house. You maybe been to the grotto, and you're certainly not going upstairs to the bedroom.
Yep.
So I appreciate you don't really know what's going on inside the house.
I do.
You could say,
I mean, I do, but yeah.
Okay, but I have no clue what's going on
Like
inside.
you had no clue when you went. Like even
it's a party.
What I'm asking is, I get that, but was there even when you were going, were the streets in Miami talking about
no?
Okay.
Zero. And I know guys.
What year? How far back are we going?
2010.
But see, it's not even about being
But I know
freaky.
guys that ran Ciroc. I mean, buddies of mine that ran Ciroc in the clubs in Miami. They would show up. They got the Ciroc boys, like all these things. But you would hear Diddy party stories, but nothing like this.
Yeah.
Like what? We never talked about Diddy like this.
But it's
3
not.
years
But
ago,
you guys, it's
5
not,
years ago.
Yeah.
So they've been tight-lipped.
I've never been a fan.
No,
I've never. I've always, in my eyes, based on what I've read and the people I've talked to, I've always seen him as the reason why Tupac's not here.
Oh wow!
I've always seen that. So that for me, it's not even this. For me, it's just I don't.
And Tupac was your guy.
He gives me the wrong vibe from day one for me.
Yeah, he's there's something about. I love what Jordan Peterson said. As I get older, I get more religious, or at least God is in my life, And he said something really interesting. When you violate every principle, every rule that, let's just take the Judeo-Christian ethic. When you violate basically every rule that has been laid out for you and say something like the Bible. Now you can say whatever you want about the Bible. It still seems to be relevant. Why is the story endured after all this time? Maybe there's a reason. I don't know. But Jordan Peterson said something really cool. He said, when you embrace that dark side, when you are your own God, which is what it is. When you are your own God, which is a form of idolatry, God's fire will feel like hell. And right now, bro, everything he's built is being burned down, and he was realizing he's been living in a house of cards. And that fire is burning down his status, his power, his wealth, maybe even his freedom. Everything about him that he was standing on is being reduced to ash. And that can be looked at as a purification. He can bear his cross, get closer to the truth, or he can decide to fight it and continue down this path to hell.
I love the fact that you brought up Jordan Peterson, Callan, because I did my other show that I do, Sawscast here. I had the guy Rob Smith on, the gay black conservative. We had this conversation, and we talked about him having a God complex, Messiah complex. When you have that much status, wealth, notoriety, everything, like what else is there? And he talked about how in Hollywood, when you have all this, like even straight guys are like, all right, I've already had all the chicks. Let me go try something new, like that. And he kind of equated that to Diddy. And then Jordan Peterson had a quote, every man must learn to be a monster, an absolute monster, but then you need to learn how to control it. And what Diddy wasn't able to do, he was a savage. You've seen that video. I'm a freaking savage. I get whatever I want. He was an absolute monster savage. He just didn't know how to control it.
By the way,
and then Rob said,
if you want to be freaky.
He said he's going to get redemption. He said he's going to get, I said, is he any way he's going to get redemption? He goes, yeah, he can get it. I go, how? He goes, through the black church. They'll embrace him. I said, what do you mean? They go, they'll embrace him. You talked about the Bible.
Well, Christianity will
He's going to
embrace
say,
him.
God I've restored my faith. I've asked for forgiveness. He goes, call it right now. 6, 12, 18 months, whatever happens with Diddy, He's going to go through the churches to get redemption.
But that's a Christian thing, isn't it? It's like you've been lost and now you're found. Thing.
Yeah. But you know what? I don't respect people like that. Like if he goes to like the church route, and mind you, I am a Christian. I'm a practicer. I go to church. I pray every single morning. I pray at night. I pray during the day once in a while. For somebody like that, that's just going to use Christianity and God and Jesus Christ as an insurance policy. Like, oh my God, I better have it. No, that Christianity has to be a way of life, brother. If God isn't like, he needs God more than anything. But this is like that last minute, he'll forgive me. No. It has to be embedded in you. That guy, bro, I've heard stories about him, Brian. And we're from, we lived in Hollywood. I lived there forever.
Yeah.
These type of things, what he does, and I'm not even to say the names because I'm not that guy. Very prominent, huge actor that loves me. We go to the house, we chill. These dudes would be like, yo, this shit's about to get crazy right now. To some of the girls too, you guys should leave.
I know who you're talking about.
I know you know what I'm talking about. PBD, think about this. Y'all, because they respected us and they know who I was, that listen, we love you, but this is the part where y'all should just bounce because it's going to get crazier than what I'm.
And by the way, there's a difference though. If you want to get freaky, all good, man. You want to get weird and freaky good. It's when you start getting abusive. It's when you're hitting people. It's when you're doing all this weird shit. Like, come on, man. So there's
and Brian, recording people and having cameras in the room where you leave, Brian, and somebody goes, hey, Brian, I need this. I want to be in this movie. I want this. And you go, nah, dog, I'm sorry. And they go, oh, really? Look at that. That's you in the room with that girl.
If you want to get, what's the best song about Freaky, man? Like it's
Freaky you is all I need.
Feel so
freaky tonight.
Freaky tonight.
Hey, maybe Diddy was also a gay man and his brand and his sexuality didn't meet. Like, there's a lot of stories about him, like basically being like, hey, look, there's your dick. That's my dick. She's between us. Now she's not. Woohoo! You know? I mean, that's what it sounds like.
And by the way, the guy that's capitalizing off of this is 50 Cent. He sells his documentary on Diddy to Netflix after bidding war.
Amazing.
Reportedly sold his documentary on the sexual abuse allegations against Diddy. The multi-part documentary titled "Did He Do It?" ? Produced by G Unit Film and Television Studios, was the subject of a massive bidding war between multiple networks and streaming services. 50 Cent confirmed that the sale, by the way, of commenting on TMZ's article on X. He first complained that they used a fat boy picture of him, speculating that the reason was to do Netflix choosing his Diddy documentary over theirs, which was sold to Tubi and premiered on April the 28th. It's okay, guys. We're all making great television. Mine just happened to be the best. Netflix wins the bidding war, but if more victims keep coming out, I'm going to need more episodes, he wrote. So he's not playing around.
You know what, Russell
the picture
Simmons
is right, too. Look at the picture of 50.
Yep. You know what Russell Simmons did? That's all. He's amazing.
He's just
reminds me of this picture right here, PBD. Me right here.
Russell Simmons, 12 women came out with hard R rape allegations.
Yeah,
he just went to Thailand.
Yeah,
he was like, "I'll see you later." He just went to Thailand.
And people kind of forgot.
Yeah, he's living in Bali.
You talking about Russell Brand?
No, Russell Simmons. Def Jam.
By the way, 50 Cent. You talked about checks and balances earlier. What percentage is he just capitalizing on just I'm this dude's enemy, and what percentage do you think is credible? Because they have a major history together. So
he hates him. There's hatred there, bro.
Is there credibility?
There's hatred.
Right. Or is there
No.
vengeance?
50 Cent made no bones about trolling him the minute this stuff came out.
Yeah.
I mean, it was crazy.
Oh, and he's been trolling too about the suspect behavior. And Diddy is, and even Andrew Schultz can attest, like a true gangster. Like, he made his money.
Yeah, when the FBI comes in with a battering ram and takes down restraining walls or whatever it's called, retaining walls, they're not doing that because they don't have anything.
Yeah, they have a lot.
My friend who went to jail for 6 years for drug trafficking told me, he goes, when the feds show up in their black SUVs and there's a line of them, please understand, you're done. They've got, my buddy goes, how long have you been watching me? And they were like, a year. And they go, the good news is if you turn on X, Y, and Z, you're not going to do a day in jail. And he goes, I'm not doing that. So he spent 6 years in Fort Dix.
Gangster. When
he came out, they were like, hey, we'll take care of you. But at the end, and when he got into Fort Dix, he gets there, they loved him right away, and they were like, "Man, I hope you're not a narc. I hope you're not a snitch. If you're a snitch, man, it'll be a bummer." And when they found out he didn't turn, they threw a party for him. And he said, "If I had women there, I never would have left." He said, I had a blast. He goes, shitty food, miserable. The roof was off the thing. I hated it. But if I had women, access to women, I wouldn't have left. We hung out all day, lifted.
So
PBD,
How about that?
What's this whole story that they're going to maybe try to get him with the RICO Act? Obviously, you've done all your mafia interviews. So have you. What's the RICO situation?
There's a whole different story here with RICO. And we'll just wrap up. I'll read the story and then we'll wrap up because 11:30 is here.
Damn,
Diddy reportedly prepares for possible RICO indictment. Sean Diddy Combs may be praying for the best, but he prepares for the worst. Rumor has it that he's the embattled hip-hop figure has put together a legal team, dream team, as he anticipates a possible RICO indictment any day now. Source tells media take out that the rapper's legal team has warned him of the aftermath of the federal investigation for alleged sex trafficking and other allegations against him. They believe that federal indictment could be handed out any day now. By the way, while I had Diddy's lawyer on, Rob, you remember when we had his lawyer on? Ooh. I asked his lawyer, wasn't he the lawyer that was the $30 million case lawyer? Yeah. Like, he's the lawyer that represented him, that negotiated the $30 million with Cassie just a year ago. But now, for this time around, he chose not to represent him. And I asked the question, I said, any reason? Did he call you to have you represent? I can't answer that question. It's a client. I said, but he must have called you. You've always done good for him. Why did you say no to him? Like I said, I didn't. I said, but you know he called you. Like, we know he called you. Are you very good at what you do? Yes. This is the guy, Benjamin Brafman. Oh, yeah. If you don't know who he is, he's like the godfather of lawyers, right? The way he dodged that question. So he's called him, and he said no. If the RICO thing goes, I am so curious to know if he's going to come out wanting to represent him, because there's going to be a lot of money on the table as well. This guy's going to be making money on this Diddy case. Yeah. But I'm watching to see if this guy come out. For this weekend, we have a full-on new merch drop being done today, this weekend. This hat I'm wearing, let me show you guys what's special about this hat. The last time we did numbered hats were this. This is the numbered hats we did. These were limited out of 200, okay? This is the actual last one that we kept, 200 out of 200. These hats sold for $99. They sold out within the first couple hours. If you go on eBay right now, Rob, and you type in Future Looks Bright hat, they're selling these at $350, $499, $999. No joke.
On eBay?
Of course, because they're numbered. They're limited edition.
350.
That's one of them. I think there's a few more. Maybe that's the only one. Look at the top if there's a couple more, Rob. There's one at $499. There's another one over there even at $999. You pick and choose what the numbers they are.
It'd be funny if you saw both.
But we are releasing look at this green and black, Vinny.
That's sick.
We're releasing these limited edition, 1 out of 250. And the year on it is going to say 2024. Obviously, it's military green. And on top of that, we got a bunch of other stuff on there for you to go out there and order. Here's what we're doing. This will not be discounted. These hats will not be discounted because they're limited edition. And first come, first serve. You go place the order, you get it. However, for Memorial Day weekend, anybody that places an order for $79, I think can you go back to the discount numbers? You get a 20% discount, $79 plus, $25 on $199. You get 35% on $399 and up. First 25 people that place an order for $400 or more, I FaceTime call you. You literally are going to get a FaceTime call from me for those that placed the order. If you're watching this, listening to this on Spotify or Apple, go to vtmerch.com, vtmerch.com. If not, there's a QR code. Go to the store, place the order. I see more people wearing Valuetainment gear and Future Looks Bright gear than ever before, and I absolutely love it. I'll stop by and take pictures with people that are wearing this gear. If you love the brand, if you love America, if you love capitalism, if you love freedom of speech, if you love free enterprise, this brand represents that. Support the brand. Go place the order. Looking forward to seeing you guys, sport the gear and represent this in the marketplace.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.